I'm Eggy Drago.
I am the cream of the crop. I am the yolk on top.
I'm a part-time video store clerk, a part-time brawler, oh yeah, and a full-time human being. Wow. When I went to Tokyo back in February 2024, I went to an idol concert on a whim because my VTuber Oshi, who graduated, was into that scene. Needless to say, I got hooked. We bought way too many checkies. So much so that we have 2 checky books. 2 checky namakans. All hail the checky namakan. After talking to a few idols, I realized every single one of them has a story, be it why they chased this dream, their ups and downs, and even their future after all this. And that's what I'm here to do. Learn more about the idol culture, the various scenes around the world, and to give them a platform to tell their stories. Every idol has a dream and a story to tell. This is IDOLEYEZ.
Is this working? I think so. Hello and welcome to episode... Oh god. Welcome to episode 39 of IDOLEYEZ. This is the #1 idol podcast on the planet, Jupiter. I am your resident host, Ando. I'm filling in for Eggy Drago while he is back home in the motherland. Yes, Eggy does sound different. I am not Eggy, unfortunately. I am some other random Filipino guy that's filling in for the time being. For anyone new to IDOLEYEZ, this is a talk show / podcast, whatever you want to call it, that highlights idols and the idol community. Everything from Chika idols, Kaiga idols, everything in between. And, the idol community part's definitely doing a lot of heavy lifting in this episode. If you're interested, please tune in every week. Bi-weekly? I have no idea how often I'll be doing this. Right here on twitch.tv/EggyDrago. If you miss any part of the show or you want to catch up on older episodes, you can. There's a YouTube VOD channel at youtube.com/the @IDOLEYZ101. Yeah, there's a ton of other episodes. I was on the last one, so now you're stuck with me for the next 3 months. And you can also follow at Eggy Drago on most, if not all, social media platforms if you want to stay up to date on the latest news and find out when shows are upcoming. Oh god, yeah, no. Please don't gas me up yet. I this is literally just the intro. Okay. Moving on. So, on today's show, we have not one, but 2 guests, which is apparently a first for IDOLEYEZ. They are the co-hosts of the very highly successful panel titled Introduction to Call Mix Culture, which has been seen at anime conventions such as Anime Expo, Anime NYC, Anime Week in Atlanta, and most recently MagFest. And they're both members of the second generation of America's premier Wotage team named Aniwaza. So, please welcome to the show, Ashes and Scrub. So, to introduce them one by one, if you are unfamiliar with Ashes is a self-proclaimed idol enthusiast, Mint Phantom's strongest soldier, sorry Nani, and recently made their idol debut and graduation, and will be re-debuting and re-graduating in 2 months or so. So yeah, Ashes, welcome.
Yay! Thank you. This is my second time on IDOLEYEZ, so is this also the first time there's been a reoccurring guest?
Possibly.
Oh my goodness, so many firsts.
Yeah, so many
You're
firsts.
asking the wrong person for this.
Yeah, no. Just mild disclosure, I didn't watch your previous episode. I'm sorry. So I don't know.
I kind of just rambled for like an hour and a half. That's fine.
I mean, like that's kind of the point of the show. Like, I think Eggy's like line is IDOLEYEZ is for yappers. So, our other guest, Scrub, he is both a VTuber and an idol enthusiast. His Twitter profile says builder of keyboards, but apparently he hasn't built one in 2 years. Is that correct?
It's been a while. It's been
okay. As a fellow keyboard enthusiast, though, go-to switches.
They when I was building, I probably was Boba's. Yeah,
Okay, I
yeah,
respect that.
Boba's.
And he is also known as the inventor of the pizza snake, which, for the record, I do not know what that is, and I will ask about what all of these snake terms mean because I'm very much still a new. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm very willing to share that when it comes up. When it comes up.
So yeah, welcome Scrub to the show.
Thank you. This is my first time like doing anything like this online. Any kind of podcasts, being a guest on anything. So I'm kind of excited and nervous. If you can't tell.
Don't be nervous.
Yeah,
You're
you
one to
guys can't
talk.
be nervous because I'm
You're always
nervous.
my DM like I'm gonna vomit.
Okay. So with all of that out of the way, we can actually get into the meat and potatoes of this show. So, I guess like the overall theme that I wanted to have you guys talk about today is, I guess, just your history with the idol community. I guess just like how you guys got involved in everything. I think that'll definitely be an interesting and enlightening topic for both new and recurring viewers. So, I guess just to start things off, what was your guys' first exposure to Japanese music or Japanese culture? Like, how did you sort of, like, when did you become cognizant or, like, aware of, oh, this is music in a different language, so to speak? So, Ashes, you can go first.
Okay. So my first time discovering like actual like Japanese music was, oh my goodness. There was a charity show. I think it was called Live 8 where they had like a stage in every like continent. And for Asia the stage was in Japan and I got to hear like Abingdon Boys School and Kodakumi. And that was my first exposure to actual like Japanese music. But my first exposure to idol music was through Nejima AMV where they had a song by Morning Musume, and then later
Nice.
on I was sailing the seven seas for music, for K-pop, and
Yeah.
I ended up discovering like J-pop through that. And that's kind of where I got to where I am now because I'm like, wow, like this music's so cool. Like, everything's like so flashy. Everything's like kind of like, oh gosh, how do I want to say this? Everything is very like peppy, and I'm like, this is the kind of shit I like.
Yep.
And then things just sort of have like devolved over the years to where I'm like, yeah, this group is so cool. Yeah, they only have 2 monthly listeners on Spotify. That's fine.
See, like,
If
that's how
they're
you
even
know.
on Spotify.
That's how you know you're one of the real ones. Is like, there was that Twitter post or whatever that was like, I like Japanese music, and it's like it lists all these really popular groups, like, I don't know, like Yoasobi and I don't know, just
I saw
what-
that.
whatever.
I saw
And then
that
the other
later.
person's just like, none of the groups are on Spotify.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like you really
yeah,
have to
that's how
like
I got my start.
dig. Yep. While we're at it, shout out K2N blog, rest in peace.
Rip.
True.
That was like the place to before, back in my day, or like our day, I don't know, before they had K-pop and before they had anything that wasn't English on streaming, you had to go onto like K2N blog or random weird websites to be able to just legally acquire.
Was my spot, but I also use K2N.
Yeah. Scrub, how did you find your way into, I guess, Japanese music and idol music?
I think my entrance into it is a little more typical of like current day otaku in America. It's mostly through like anime and then going
Yeah.
to and then like just searching around, having things pop up. My biggest, well, at least for Japanese music in general, but I think my biggest dive into like idols was thanks to one of my friends. Back around 2013, 2014. Shout out to Mr. Isan. um, who kind of introduced me to whack groups, which is kind of a crazy thing thinking back as a first foray into like
That is a
3D
crazy
That
idols.
is-
first
yeah.
idol group.
That like straight into the deep end.
Like I was aware of stuff like Morning Musume and AKB, but like following idols was straight into almost Chica territory, straight in. So that's an interesting kind of route to take, I feel.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, like, I don't think I discovered whack. Like, I didn't even know what whack was until maybe 5 years ago. Because one of Egg and other our like other friends is into like weird, like he's into alt idols, but he doesn't listen to anything like Chica or Kai Guy, and we've been pestering him for years. But yeah, no,
Okay.
like he got me hooked on, like he was like, "Have you heard of this group called ASP?" And I'm like, "No," and he just like
Oh,
sends me
ASP asp.
ASP.
Ah,
Oh
yes.
lord, yeah. So yeah, it was definitely sort of like, I can understand like sort of culture shock, or just like being like, what the heck is this, like when you the first time you ever hear that.
Especially because back to like when Scrub got into whack, like that was when they were really, really like off the shits. Like we were talking about this, like when you found out about whack, they were a lot tamer, but like when Scrub and I were into whack, they were like, yeah, you gotta run like this long of a marathon or you're not in the group anymore, like type of stuff. Like,
Yeah, I like looking at it. A lot of their old whack music videos, especially stuff from like Plastic to Mercy and
yeah.
like Gen 1 Bis, has
Yeah,
some crazy stuff.
yeah, definitely. Like I sort of like whenever I digged into their discography, I started to realize, whoa, like they moved a lot differently, or now that, or not just with Bish, like with like the new groups and all that sort of stuff. And I'm just like, okay, yeah, they really were like off, like literally off the deep end, so to speak, at the beginning. Um, so like, what is there a specific like live or concert or an event that you can remember that sort of helped you start to become more immersed in idol culture, and not just like sort of passively participating or just passively listening to it? Ashes.
Um, Technically for me, my first like outside of like seeing like idol showcases and like masquerades like in America, it would have either been Northwest Idol Fest 2022, getting to see Isiliel in live in person,
Oh.
or Thai Japan Iconic Music Fest 2023, when I got to see Festive in person for the first time. I think that's probably like my two like most formative experiences, because like I wasn't really like I was active like in the idol community, but I was never like going to events really until after COVID, where basically I had the money to attend events. So there's a lot of stuff that I missed out on until after that point. So probably I think those two are like where I really like finally was able to fully immerse myself.
But I mean, like, were you involved in like the the Twitter space before then, or was
Yes,
it
yeah.
just yeah? Because like, so like how, or I guess just like how would you discover like new groups through, I guess, like I don't know, internet oomphs, or just like I don't know, randomly digging into discographies, that sort of thing, or
Um, it was a combination of Oomph Online, YouTube algorithm, Spotify, Discover Weekly, and then also to just like I'll I would be browsing like a download website and I'll be like, oh, that album looks interesting. Downloads it, listens to it, unintentionally discovers a masterpiece, and then the group breaks up a week later.
oh no. But I mean, like, that's usually like that's the best way to discover things. You're just like,
Mhm.
what's this? And then it's just, it's like your life is changed in an instant, sort of thing.
Yup.
And I mean, like, specifically, I know you're very knowledgeable about like Thai idols and the Thai idol scene. So like, did you find out about like Japanese idols first, or Thai idols first, or like how did that whole thing sort of come to existence?
Yeah, so I found out about Japanese idols first because I've been in the Japanese idol culture since about 2009 or so.
Mhm.
The way I found out about Thai idols is BNK48, which is the Thai sister group of AKB, had just released their music video for Heavy Rotation, and it ended up in my YouTube algorithm, and it played, and I'm like, wait a minute, like this is really fun, like. The instrumentation was just slightly different. The MV was super colorful, and then from there, like I was starting to get like suggestions from other groups that were active, like Siam Dream, Sumomo, and then from there I started discovering like new groups. Like I watched Sora Sora's debut, I watched Mikami Yoshi's group Fuyubi debut. Like I got to watch like all those debuts like all through YouTube just because in Thailand, recording is allowed at events, so you can
Ah,
follow the full Thai idol scene just through like 5 or 6 YouTube accounts, pretty much.
that's cool. And I'm sure, like, especially since you don't really. It's very rare for like Thai culture, especially, to sort of break into the wider zeitgeist. So like having things like that, like YouTube, and being able to, I guess, just sort of have all of these mediums that are, I guess, widely accessible. I guess like I hadn't really listened to Thai music until I just randomly found. I think it was when I was still doing like K-pop stuff, and obviously like
Yeah.
they love all those types of music. So there's a lot of groups, and obviously like there's actual Thai K-pop idols and that sort of thing. So yeah, it's always just cool to see, you know, especially Southeast Asian culture just sort of find its way into the wider, I guess, global stage when it's usually very difficult on their own to sort of, I guess, make their voice heard, so to speak.
Yeah.
So Scrub, how about you? Like, how or is there like a specific event that you remember sort of being, I guess, like the catalyst for you being more immersed in idol culture, or just like a specific group, or that sort of thing?
Um, I'm honestly, I can't really say when it really took off. I guess a lot of it's the same as Ashes through algorithm and stuff like that. And like shout out to Foray Foray for recording like almost every gang parade live early on.
Wow.
that's that's where I got a lot of my fix from. Um, so in terms of going to lives, like it's weird. I am a Chica Idol fan who has never been to Japan. So that's
Oh, really?
so it's a little tough for me to actually follow groups like easily or even go to lives because well I've never actually been to many lives. So when I guess like the biggest live was when Plank Stars came over a few years ago and like literally across a bridge. So I'm like, okay, I'll go. It's like, okay, I'll go. Thanks to recommendation from again, Mr. Isan, my
Wow.
my
Isan's the MVP.
yeah, he is. Um like I don't know. That's kind of like the big thing that got me into really appreciating um at least more smaller events, I guess, because that event was very intimate, like such a small crowd and the interaction from between the idols and the crowd was I guess what I was looking forward to and found the most
You mean when Kana shoved a burger in my mouth?
hey, I
What?
wasn't there for the off Kai.
Please,
No,
please explain
that
this to
was
me.
the second. That was the second performance. You were there for that.
I was there for that.
Yeah.
Was,
There's
was,
a
But do
side
I
tangent
remember
I'll
it?
go on in a second.
No.
No.
um but yeah, I guess the most recent like events I guess it's not so recent anymore. It's been a year, a little over a year is when like Neo-Japanism came over and I did like a coast to coast run for them and that was fun.
Yeah, and I guess just even for me, it was really hard. Like, I was definitely in the same boat where you're really just interacting through music through like streaming or YouTube or whatever, because it was just very rare for Japanese artists to come over. Like even big ones. Like I remember like the first time I saw Perfume, I was like, whoa, there's an actual Japanese artist coming over. And, let alone like smaller or like chica groups or like rock groups. So like, again, like I really didn't have this kind of perspective until I guess I entered more of the idol scene here. But a lot of these events, like these standalone events and, all of these like idol showcases, a lot of it's very recent, correct? Like either
Yeah. Sorry.
No, either you can answer. Yeah, so go ahead.
I've been yapping. You can take the wheel for a second, Scrub.
Yeah, like having all these events more recently kind of makes it um I don't know I really don't know how to put it. It's kind of surreal because mm, you get to do the things that you see online,
Mm.
I guess, and you actually get to appreciate things in person. Cause like the other than idols, the only other exposure would be concerts where like they would
Scrub?
Scrub?
Oh no.
There he is.
Sorry,
Come
I
back.
think my push to talk was got a little funky. Um yeah, so it would just be cons and big events, and like you would have to travel out and make a whole weekend out of it, and now
Mm.
like single day things are more available, and you
Yeah.
just like show up and be a weirdo and then leave.
Ashes, did you have anything else to add onto that?
Um, no, it's been really interesting too, because like I've been craving like idol stuff like in America for so long, and now we're getting it because like both from the aspect of like Kaigai idols like doing stuff like outside of conventions, because originally it was just Kaigai idols either in the hallway of a convention or in like an idol showcase,
Hallway?
like before
They
they
didn't even
took
get a
it off.
stage?
No, no, no. Initially when idols like really first came into the con scene, they would do hallway lives, like literally in the hallway. Like they wouldn't obstruct like anyone's like walk path, obviously. But they would just like set up in the corner with like a Beats pill like speaker or whatever. And they would just like do like dance performances, and people would crowd around and like watch them. And then that ended up getting turned into idol showcases because it was a little safer for people, and because there was obviously an interest. And now it's getting to the point where like there are some conventions that straight up have like constant idol content, like Otakon or Anime Week in Atlanta. Like every convention now has some form of an idol showcase. And then there's standalone idol events happening now, both in California as well as like pretty much in a lot of states now actually. I just recently saw one announced for Kansas City. um
Nice.
there's been stuff like
Damn.
in the DMV, in the tri-state, like New Jersey, Pennsylvania, New York, California. Like it's popping up like all over. There's one in Texas recently as well too. I remember that.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's like growing at a rapid pace, and it's very exciting to see.
Yeah, definitely. Because, again, it's just, I feel like, yeah, the more people you can expose it to, not just people in Cali, not just people on like New York or whatever. I feel like, yeah, you find more people to sort of, enjoy this music with, and, find more people that might want to become or be more involved in
Mhm.
this community as well. So, which is a pretty good transition to, I guess, just how did you guys get involved when it comes to, call and mix and wotage? Like, where did you sort of take that leap from, you're just, I guess, just looking at other people or just like going to like lives and just, I guess, watching, and versus, you actually, I guess, taking the leap, so to speak, and becoming more of an active participant. So Ashley's, I guess you can sort of address the call and mix part, and then Scrub, you can talk about like the wotage of it.
Well, I want Scrub to talk about the call and mix part too.
Okay.
Um, oh, wow. why are you calling me right now?
So,
We have a
Scrub, can you start this real quick? I'm getting a phone call.
yeah, so damn it. So I guess the start of Call and Mix for me was really when listening to lives and just hearing the cheering in the background, and then realizing like when I would go to Spotify and listen to the music and just not hear anything in the background, it kind of felt empty. So I'm
Mhm.
like, all right, maybe I should get to learning. Maybe I should get to learning this because it seems fun. Um, it and it kind of grows from there, because when you start to listen to these lives and then you hear like something something off the rails or something like, wait, what is this? And then you're trying to look everywhere, but me not knowing Japanese, it's like near impossible to find anything related
Yeah,
to it.
like any type of resource or just like, what are they saying? Like on Google Translate or something.
Pretty much. Um it's like you're flying blind a lot of the time. So you try to hear from like word of mouth from people who have gone to these things in person. And originally it would take like a long time before it would reach us over here, but now like since more people are getting into it, you have people like popping up and being like, "Hey, what is this?" And then you have someone else like immediately able to answer or at least be
Yeah.
able to like know what to look for.
Could you actually remember like the first like call or mix that you remember learning, or just you remember actually being able to do it alive?
I think I think like with most people like the standard ones
Standard mix,
like
yeah.
yeah, standard mix, Tiger Fire, Cyber Fiber, Diver Viber, Jaja is like the the bare bones, and also like the Oshi calls, like Ore no, Oshi-chan, stuff like that. Because you hear those so much that it kind of gets ingrained to you when you listen to these songs.
Hmm.
So it's like the easiest thing to rip, you know.
Yeah, definitely, and especially with like Oshi calls, because like the first time I ever went to a J-pop concert was uh Sashi's graduation from HKT48, and I mean like at this point, like again, I had no idea what Japanese idol culture was about, so hearing people do like called mix, and then obviously everyone is like kawaii, doing all of these like things, and I'm just like, okay, I think I get it now, and it was yeah, like as the phrase goes, like when in Rome, you just start following what everyone else is doing and hope you don't mess up in a way.
Yeah, it's really fun just to be able to be in it and be loud, because I don't know, it's kind of refreshing in a way.
So how about the Wotage side? Since we're already talking about, I guess your journey, Scrub.
So it's funny because Ashes likes to paint me as like, oh, you do the Orege, so you should talk more about it. But like, as far as Orege goes, and like Siloom Dance and Chikage and like well, Siloom Dance and Chikage especially, um, I really only started getting a little more serious about it last year. So I don't actually have that much experience, but it has been fun learning and being able to like jump around and move and be even more be even more silly at at lives is kind of like a good reason I think to learn it and do it.
Yeah, definitely. Because I guess just for most American concerts or just more normal sort of live events, it's not as interactive as like Kaigai or Chica Idol lives, where there's just there's the interaction is such a crucial part of it. Whereas, you know, if you go see, I don't know, like a rock band or like a top 40s pop artists, it's usually more of you're watching a performance, and some people might like scream, and like you don't really get the same level of interactivity. So I think that's probably like the coolest part about this community, is that there's always that connection that you build with it's not just somebody singing on stage, it's also the people doing calls, doing mixes, doing wotage. It's all part of like this cohesive organism in a way.
Yeah, and I think it kind of feeds into itself people because when people see you or hear you doing these kinds of things, they kind of like come up and ask what it is, or they want to learn what it is. So it kind of grows as a community, like pretty organically, I feel.
Mhm. Definitely, yeah. Like the growth that we've seen like in the last like year or so
Here
has
especially
it's
is
just been
just
explosive. Yeah. Cause
stonks.
like what this time last year, it would just be the two of us like starting stuff, and now like we don't even have to start stuff. Like we can just like step back for a second, and then everyone else will like be doing stuff, and we're like, oh, that's going on now. Okay.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
it's
having other people take the reins is like really it makes things a lot easier.
yeah, instead of just having like two random people in the back shouting, like, and then just people looking at you weird. Like, it's definitely more fun when everyone can sort of feel like they're involved, and it's not just like a certain number of the percentage of the crowd. Uh, yeah, like Dan said, it's very infectious. Like, it's hard not to feel like, oh, I want to participate. Oh, I want to like take part. Oh, I want to learn what's going on. So, Ashes, I guess we can move on to your history with learning call and mix and wotage.
Yeah. So when I like first started getting into idol stuff, I always thought the coordinated like calls were really really cool. But I didn't know there was like anything more you could do like beyond like hi or like Oshi calls until I ended up at like my local like Love Live servers like summer like beach like vacation thing. We call it the beach episode. And I walk into the beach house. It's my first time meeting like most of these people. And I hear them like doing like standard mix to Psychic Fire by BB from Love Live. And I'm like, wait a minute, this is cool. I've heard this before, but I never heard it so clearly because I had, AKB48 fan, so I had heard like mixing to some degree, but I could never really make out what was being said.
Mm.
Um, and so like I just started like getting into it a little more, and then I went to Annie Party. It was right before COVID hit. It was December 2019. And that's when I learned a little more about like otage and like Anikura culture and more about mixing. And then the pandemic hit, and I'm like, well, I can't do any of this right now. But you know what I can do? I can watch YouTube. And so I just sat watching like Tokyo Idol Festival like clips, like watching people do mix and stuff, learning different mixes. Um, got into a couple VTubers at the time who were also really keen on mixes, learned from them, and then it just sort of like spiraled out from there. And then when I finally went to an event, like I went to Cast Point Anime Convention 2022, which was, I believe, the first Castle Point that like was after COVID. Really, really got a chance to like start honing my craft. I was also at like Anime Los Angeles 2022, but like, sorry, there wasn't a lot there beyond like a couple friends. So it was still relatively quiet. But all of my other friends had also been like studying too, and like our crowd just started getting bigger, and then it just kind of like spiraled out from there. So that's really where my start with all of that like kind of came to a head. A combination of locked in the house for a year, could only watch YouTube, and friends just bouncing stuff off of each other.
Yeah, and I think I was also at Castle Point in 2022, but I had no idea about any of this stuff. I was just there for VTubers, but yeah, it's cool to see like once things started coming back to normal. And I guess it's like this in other sort of degrees, or people get like interests, or people get hobbies when they were just stuck at home doing nothing. That's how I learned photography, in all honesty. You just learn something, and then it's just like, hey, I can actually leave the house now, and you can apply it, or you can actually go interact with the community that you sort of like were only interacting with just through social media.
Yeah.
Speaking of, I guess, how did you guys start getting more involved on the community aspect of it? So like, Ashes, like you're involved with, Idol Fest, you've helped put on, solo lives or standalone shows. Obviously, Scrub, you both joined Aniwaza. So I guess just what was sort of the impetus for that, or just, and, did you always have this desire to sort of get more involved in the behind the scenes stuff instead of just, attending concerts?
Um, for me, it wasn't intentional. I was pretty happy just being behind the scenes. But in 2020, I helped with a online Discord convention, called IdleCon. Started building up like some contacts from there. Really built my skill set for like PR stuff from that. Because fun fact, the reason why I learned PR is because our previous PR person for IdleCon had stepped down, and I couldn't find anybody to fill that position. So I just
It's just like,
learned. I just
well,
did
I
it
guess it's me
myself.
now.
Yeah, and literally it was how it went. Um, and from there, it was just like me, starting to network with the right people, like starting to learn the behind the scenes stuff, and I realized like, oh, I'm helping bring the artists that people love to them. That's really fulfilling. Shit. That's pretty much how it went.
Like the light bulb sort of turns on. It's like, wait a
Yeah,
second.
yeah. Yeah, I was like, wait a minute, I'm making people happy. Sweet.
Yeah.
So that's pretty much it.
And Scrub, I get like, for you again, like what sort of I guess made you want to learn more, or just like dive deeper into Wotage scene, and join Aniwaza, and I guess just help bring Wotage and I guess this whole culture to a wider audience than just the sort of small niche community that we have.
It's all my fault.
So, I mean, yeah, but no. So my leading what's I guess the reason why like I try to go and do things now is because I don't know. I just want to make sure the performers feel seen, because uh like there's no worse feeling than playing to a dead crowd.
Oh, definitely.
So I never want any artist to kind of feel like they're not doing they're not welcome, I guess. So that's like a big reason why I try to make it out to like all these events, especially like smaller ones. As far as joining and helping out, like I said, I kind of got dragged into it. um
Okay, I'll tell the
not
real story
not
if you're
not
really
that I
gonna
don't
blame me.
not that I
Oh
don't
no.
mind it, but I did ask to help Ash with her panel, like originally, because it's also something that I'm interested in, and free badge, like. So um that part that part was like, all right, that's my fault, my bad, all right. Everything else, like even joining Aniwaza, was kind of like against my will. But like I said, I don't mind it at all. Because like I said, I feel like it's a good way to express it's a good way to express yourself, and it's a good way to show support to the performers.
Yeah, definitely. And I think that's a awesome reason to get involved. Like I've um I mean, I've been going to like anime and like random like pop culture conventions for a while, and I'd even before I knew what like I guess Kagai and like the whole idol culture was, I'd see you'd see panels or you'd see people performing, and the crowd is just like looking at their phones or like nobody's responding, that sort of thing, and you kind of just feel you feel bad, and like it's just like I want to like clap or yell or say something, but I don't want to be like the one guy that does it. So I think that again, like that's another awesome thing about this game is that you sort of have it's almost encouraged that you have to do it, whereas like other places you have to be quiet and like let the performer do their thing.
I also feel like a lot of people are looking for the opportunity to be loud and interact, but like they don't know when or where it's appropriate, so they're always looking for someone to start it. And that's why like it's kind of it's kind of important for people to realize like, hey, being loud is sometimes the best way to support the to support people, cheer them on and to like kind of motivate them.
Especially Yakai.
Yeah, exactly.
Before we move on, I do want to tell actually the story of how we did start paneling together. So it was Castle Point 2024 actually. We were just kind of like, oh my god, my cat was under my bed this whole time. Sorry, she just popped out and scared me. So it was Castle Point 2024, and um, like we're just like standing around, like we're waiting for Annie Party to start, and Scrub and I are walking, and he's like, I wouldn't mind helping you with your panel if you want. I'm like, yeah, sure. I'd love like a co-panelist to like riff with sometime. What was it? It was like a week later. I get an email telling me I've been accepted for Anime Expo.
That's crazy. That's a crazy,
Yeah.
just like
And
Castle Point to
and
AX.
I'm like, hey, Scrub, I know
Please.
you're going to AX. It was me like pleading to him. I'm like, hey, please, I'm so scared. I'm so nervous.
Don't leave me here.
This is my dream, and it's also the largest convention ever. Help, help, help.
Yeah,
And
it's funny because I was like, you know what? I haven't paneled in a few years because I used to run a an alt idol slash chica idol panel at some small cons here and there, and I'm like, you know what? It's been a few years. I kind of miss paneling, so I reach out to Ashes, and then the first panel back is like she said AX, and I'm like, what did I do?
How did
And
I
then
land myself in
literally-
this situation?
And then, what was it? It was a week before AX because I had gone. No, it was 2 weeks before because I had gone out for Idol Party in LA. I'm literally on the plane, and I get an email. Congratulations, you've been accepted for Anime NYC. And so I DM Scrub, and I'm like, let's present Call and Mix together the second time. We haven't even presented it the first time.
Wasn't the Otakon acceptance like around the same time too?
Otakon came like after AX, but before Anime NYC. So we were like back to back to back scheduled for these big ass cons.
Yeah, like basically essentially the three biggest anime conventions in the United States, I'm pretty sure. So
Yeah.
Pretty much.
literally suffering from success.
Yes. And so I had to cram and like rebuild the panel to fit like for 2 people because originally it was just for 1 person. And so I had to build it for 2 people. Only the problem is we can't focus for anything. And so I would message Scrub and I'd be like, hey, what do you think about this? I don't get a reply for 10 minutes. On the 11th minute, he's like, hey, did you know you can insert X mix into Y Western song? And I'm like, huh, I didn't think about that. And then I listen to it, and then I completely forget what I asked him for an hour.
What was
I
what
mean,
was
like-
X mix into Y song, by the way?
It was Bismarck Kojo into You Belong With Me by Taylor Swift. I remember this.
Oh God.
uh, yeah.
Because I was like, this is too slow for this, and he's like, oh, the plane's taking off slow.
It was a very very slow plane, slow takeoff, a lot of turbulence, you know.
But I mean, like
So
again, that's like that's a cool part. A lot of at least just from what I've seen or experienced, a lot of it is just you're basically just throwing everything at the wall until you see what sticks.
Yeah.
In a way. So
yeah,
that being said, now that you guys have given your history on both just getting more involved in the community and how you started the call and mix panel, it's time to teach our audience, aka me, all these terms that I've gone like 10 months without really understanding, and I've been too afraid to ask why.
oh
What
my
everything
god,
means,
okay,
or just like I could like
okay.
this is just gonna be me like asking questions so that I'm not like more ignorant. So like I guess just at lives, I've heard, and I did like funny enough, like the first time I ever actually attended the Ashes and Scrub call and mix panel was last weekend. Because I had
The
been missing
ashes
it
and scrub panel with
Minus
no
scrub.
with no Scrub.
You were there in spirit.
Yeah, like every other opportunity that I had to go see this call and mix panel, I just missed it for one reason or another. So at Castle Point, I was just like, I was too sleepy because the panel was at like 9 a.m. or something like that. So I was just like, I'm gonna show up later. And then at KagaraCon, unfortunately, Ashes ended up getting sick, and I'm just like waiting there at like where the panel room was supposed to be, and they're just like, no, it got canceled. I'm just like, dang it, not again. And then the next one was Anime NYC, and I was busy doing VTuber stuff or like Call Live stuff. And then finally,
No,
Magfest.
you went to our counter programming, Ollie. I see. Ollie
Yeah.
teaching the same stuff as us.
Okay, yeah, but so I did eventually finally get to attend the panel. So that being said, you did explain like some stuff like, oh, like where like the names of certain mixes and where like they came from. I guess just the thing that, especially as an outsider that or like finally entering this community, the thing that I guess sort of confused me at first is just how do you know what call or mix to do for which song and at what time, and like is it like the same one every single time for the like a specific song, or will it like are you just basically like does it change, or can you just like say whatever?
All right. Open up the PowerPoint.
All right.
Oh,
We're
God.
presenting
No.
introduction call
So-
mix right now.
All right, this is our panel now.
Yep.
But in all seriousness, since a lot of the songs are very similar in song structure, you can kind of figure out where certain mixes go. Like standard mix will always you can always kind of during the jam in during the start of a song.
Mm-hmm.
But you might hear mixes going on and think like, oh, they know where it goes. No, we don't know where it goes. We're flying by the seat of our pants so many times. We have botched more mixes than
Oh.
you can count. Like I've started so many Kahen Sanren mixes that I realized have only been like 16 beats. And then I'm like, oh, my bad.
We're like, nope.
You already started it. It's like, oh no, it's
I
too
tried
late.
a world chaos and then I only get halfway through and it's like, oh, that's not right. You got Koi Kojo, but then like, no, the song ends too early. So like a lot of it is like experimenting especially if it's something new. Like I don't think anybody, at least in North America, is gonna be angry at you for trying new things.
That's good to hear.
Like, especially people who are like versed in this stuff, like, because we know that it's all trial and error. Like you said, you throw something at the wall and you see if it sticks, and if it doesn't stick, you just throw something else at the wall, pretty much. And there's also to kind of like sidebar, you were like, oh, is it the same thing every time? Yes and no. Things can evolve. Things can also depend on region. Like, I think the most notorious example is um like during the chorus of a song where you'll hear someone say like ay mo ikai. You'll also in Nagoya, you will hear people say like, oh, you'll hear like one person do ay, and then there's a circle around them and they'll just do it louder. And then you can also do like, oh, I see that it. Like, there's a lot of different variances, and it depends on the crowd you're with, or like where you're at, or honestly just the mood of the crowd.
Yeah. I mean, that's definitely the impression I got, but like I wasn't 100% sure. I was just like, are you guys meeting up like 2 hours beforehand? And you're like, okay, when this song happens, we go this, and this. But okay, but I mean, it's a lot more reassuring to hear that everyone's just essentially just flying blind. So then, if I just randomly scream something and nobody follows it, I won't feel as guilty.
Yeah. Well, yeah, depending on the song, because there are some songs like, oh, well, where it's been done so many times that like, okay, we know how this goes.
I mean, like
But
I
if
feel like
it's like, oh yeah,
sorry, I feel like the only one that I knew like by not by like by heart, but like I was familiar with beforehand was like, oh, Snow Halation has a very, you know, okay, that's pretty much almost set in stone. Like everyone like knows what the calls are for that essentially. So
yeah,
Yeah, that's
like
the same
if
stuff.
yeah, that's pretty much the same stuff. If people know it, like if they know it, they know it. If they don't, they're gonna try to figure something out. And like seeing what Solemn says in chat, me realizing every time you turn around and X at the rest of us because you led us wrong in the first place. Yeah, you know what?
Yeah, sorry.
We at least will own up to it. Like, yeah, if it doesn't fit, we realize it. We're like, yo, stop.
There have been some times where like we've like if we've been tasked by a Kaigai idol, like, hey, can you come up with a mix guide for my song? Like, we'll like meet over like Discord, or um we'll like meet a little bit beforehand, or we will we will cook in someone's car on the way to the venue. There have been times where Kaigai idols have asked us and be like, oh, like, can we, can you come up with a mix guide for it? And then like by the end we'll like have something and we're like, we hope this works. Because that's how Guardian by Pan Ranger, for example, that's how I sort of like cooked up the mix guide for that. And then it sort of evolved over time with like me and Scrub like experimenting, and like Airy and like just everyone else like experimenting and like coming up with stuff. Like it changes over time, and it's really interesting.
yeah, and you know, I think that's like yeah, again like the coolest part where, and I guess that's the one thing that definitely separates Japanese inspired like idol music or Kaigai idol music. There's a lot even in terms of like the actual performers or the performances. Everything isn't so you know neat and tidy and polished. Like there's a lot of throwing stuff at the wall and seeing if it sticks in terms of the performers. And it's only natural, I guess, that the for how important crowd interaction is, that you're essentially just trying to figure out what otage and like call and mix or just call guides or just all that sort of stuff. Almost in unison. You're trying to figure out how all this works together in a way.
Yeah. For better or worse, Scrub and I seem to be on the same wavelength.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I'd imagine you need sort of familiarity, or just like you have to be doing this a while, that you can just sort of almost read each other's minds and be like, okay, I know what you're gonna go for.
I don't know. There have been many a time where I have been turned around and stared at like, what the fuck are you doing by this one over here?
Yeah, because you're doing something terrible, not in a negative way, but in a oh my god, I don't know this man way.
No, but that's the thing is I definitely respect that aspect of it. Just willing to like be like, fuck it, we ball, and you just throw something out there and see if it works. Where usually like again like for a lot of people that are even too shy to maybe just call or mix or even do otage, like it's just yeah, it's definitely, at least for me, as somebody that's always just been mainly an observer of this kind of stuff, it's a lot more reassuring to see just people, most of all, just like having fun or just, making fun out of it where, it doesn't, it's not so strict and regimented in a way.
The less
So
strict it is, the better, I
Yeah.
feel.
yeah, definitely. I feel like, yeah, the whole organic aspect of it definitely makes things more interesting. So yeah, let's see what else I got. Um, so we've covered, I guess, just like my questions in terms of call and mix, but now I guess we can talk about, I guess, your, things that I still don't kind of understand when it comes to like Botage or Chikage or all that sort of stuff. Specifically, like obviously, like I know like there's like basic moves where you're just like you're doing the scooping thing with the lights or whatever. I don't know what it's called. I'm sorry. It looks like you're scooping fish out of the out of like the thing
Hey,
that they have at festivals.
pretty much, yeah. Like, so there's a lot. The big the big ones that you see are like usually called wazas, or like
Mhm.
finishing moves, I guess would be the translation if I'm remembering right. So they're like these big, I guess you could, it's a coordinated dance. Well, I guess not coordinated, but it's a dance done with the lights usually for otage. There's also chikage where you lose the lights and
Oh,
off.
sorry, I don't mean to interrupt, but my Kamiyoshi had like just liked the announcement that about the about the podcast. So I don't know if she's here.
Oh
Hi
God.
pun.
Hi, Pun.
Hi pun.
Sorry, continue.
So yeah, like Silent Dance and Chikage are parts of otage that like I don't, yeah, that's the scooping that you see, especially um I I don't know how else to say it. Like it's pretty much just dancing, but it fits for every song, I guess. It's like I don't know. I guess the worst way to put it, it's like a TikTok dance.
I
I
can't
mean, no,
even say
that
you're
that's relatable.
wrong.
Yeah. So, um, and I guess just like I assume similarly to call and mix, a lot of that's also you're workshopping or you're trying to just figure things out um
Yeah.
as as the show progresses. Like especially
Yeah,
especially at Water Chaos Party, I again, that was probably like the most off the wall yakai live I've ever been to, and there's stuff I've never heard in my life before being like done like physically and verbally there.
The pyramid.
like especially with Chikage, where it's very loose and it's whatever comes to mind sometimes, where you see like really stupid stuff happening.
Yeah.
It's it I don't know, you get sometimes you get creative, but at
It's
least
shit
when you're not
posting
feeling,
in person.
Yeah, it's shitposting
yeah,
in real
at least
life,
when you're not
definitely.
feeling at least when you're not feeling creative, there's always something to fall back on. And like Zunkle's saying, who's up ordering, they know white girl.
Can I get Orden a white
My
girl in the
favorite.
chat, please?
No. Uh. God. You're gonna worry no white girl me on my deathbed, man. My one favorite like stupid thing that's ever happened is when I was in Thailand in 2023. There's one song that Sora Sora does where they have like the Hogwarts mix like in the in like the bridge, like right before the second verse. And I'm minding my business and I just see like a couple of my oomps like throw on Hogwarts robes, and like they have like wands and stuff, and during the Hogwarts mix they point at each other like they're casting a spell on each other, and it's like one of my favorite things that like I've ever seen. I've wanted to recreate it so bad. And then later on, like at Japan Expo, my friend got a Voldemort mask for that same part of the song.
Honestly, like
So
just hearing that's so inspiring. Just like you just think of the randomest stuff to do, and
it really
it actually
is.
works. Like I was telling you, or like I was just thinking of like like just in my head, like if I was ever to make up a like a call or mix or just some weird like bit to do during a song, like what would I do? And I was just like, oh, if anyone ever does, I don't know, just like if anyone ever does like the Space Jam theme song, you could do like you could do Oshi calls for Michael Jordan or Bugs Bunny or like stuff like that. Like it just
Oh my god.
this
Okay,
has to
we
be a
have
real
to
thing.
cook
The
this
Looney
now,
Tunes
Scrub. We
mix.
have to cook this.
The Looney
Yeah,
Tunes mix.
Honestly,
The
like
Looney Tunes mix.
like that, like stuff like that just seems like the most fun. Just like coming up with whatever random stupid thing that you can think of on the fly, and then it just magically works. So you know that's why I guess just like the reason why I'm I guess expressing this interest is that usually whenever I'm at lives, I'm not always, or since I'm usually doing photography or video, you know, I can't be, you know, calling, mixing, or doing wotage since I'm, you know, just holding the camera. Especially
That's a
if like,
lock in, yeah.
yeah, I have to lock in, and also like I don't want to hear I don't want like the only good or the only archivable video of an event to be just me yelling at the top of my lungs behind the camera. So you know, it is just very interesting or reassuring to see like, oh, there's just so much you could experiment with and so much you can learn that, you know, I do eventually want to, you know, be able, you know, if there's ever an occasion where I don't, you know, I'm not staff or I'm not, you know, photo or video, that okay, I can actually, you know, try and learn this stuff and not just stare at everyone else doing it.
Yeah, another place where it gets really silly is at the Annie parties where like the props get brought out.
Oh yeah. Um, yeah, especially because like Ari has like a go bag basically of just random props
You just like
that he just brings just in case like something happens.
got to be prepared. That's like
Yeah,
I
so
respect the dedication. It's just like you have a bag of like bit shit just in case a bit happens.
It's literally it.
this is why you have to start carrying around a basketball for whenever like Space Jam theme starts playing.
True.
So
Oh my god, I can't believe we just cooked that. One thing I wanted to ask about before we move on off of the otage and convex part was um like I mentioned at the top of the show, you invented the pizza snake. First of all, what is a snake, and then how did, you know, pizza snake sort of come out of that?
This is all you.
so Pizza Snake is actually like birthed from one of our friends. I don't know how to refer to him on the podcast. I guess I'll do I plug his Twitter or do I just like gov name him?
Well, he uses his gub name everywhere.
All right, so like our friend Anthony, like
Oh, the fumbler.
yeah, yes,
Damn. So
damn.
wait. To be fair, it wasn't just Anthony. It was Anthony and Wrong for Rabbit. Continue. I want Wrong for Rabbit to get his credit too.
You know what? Yeah, he deserves it as well. So they were coming up with a Chikage, which is like just the dance without the lights. Um, and he was showing me. They were showing me, and it's like, so you wanna see Pizza Snake, and so he does the Chikage, right? And then later that night, I decided like, you know what? This could make a really good otage, really good silent dance. Waza. So I'm sitting there labbing it, and then I'm getting help from MBK, one of our other friends. So, and it comes out, and we ended up making a full Waza from it. So the reason why it's called Pizza Snake is because there's a lot of wazas, a lot of Saloon dances that are called that end with something snake. The most popular one, like being Thunder Snake.
Yeah, that's the one
So
I
it's
I
just
knew.
like it's really just taking that part. Normally it's appended with snake if it has certain moves in it. And I guess we figured it has this move called Snake Thunder in it, so it should be safe to call it a snake.
I mean, yeah, that's actually cool. Like the whole idea of the naming aspect of it, because I guess it just reminds me of, I don't know, like either like ice skating or gymnastics, where basically like they literally, some people name new moves after themselves. Some people name new moves because like they did it like 5 times off of an original one or something like that. So like that's almost just as creative as the actual like figuring out, okay, like what moves are going to I get comprise of Pizza Snake or whatever new, I guess, just Chikage, your like what the game like Siloom dance that you're trying to cook up.
So the funny thing is Anthony was explaining to me like what every move was and how it related to making a pizza. So if um if we ever if we ever post it, I guess there's an explanation to to each move because there's kneading the dough, then you're like opening it up, flattening it out, spinning it, throwing it into the oven, right? You're waiting, you take it out of the oven, you cut it up, box it, and send it. So if you look at it with this in mind, I think you'll see why it's called Pizza Snake.
So you're telling me you have to film, or at some point, either I do it or like somebody like has to film you in front of a dollar slice doing the Pizza Snake.
I wanted to do that so bad last time we were in New York, actually, but it was so late and it was so cold.
All right, when it's not brick outside.
I mean,
All right, get out there then. Turn your camera on.
I mean,
I would be
nah.
glad. I would be glad to participate or film this like historic occasion. Anyway, so moving on, I guess just one aspect of this or the whole Colin Mix and idol, I guess just idol crowd participation culture that I wanted to address or find out more about, I guess, is just were there any times that you encountered, I guess, just or were there any, I guess, just obstacles that you encountered when it came to like outsiders just not understanding like what Colin Mix culture is, or like people thinking that you're disturbing the performance, or just not really getting the point, or that sort of thing, whether it be malicious or like just pure they don't understand out of like just trying to learn. Have there ever been any instances like that?
Oh yeah,
Oh yeah.
like definitely. I'm not gonna say which kind of events because that's I don't want to like directly call people out. Not well, I guess it's not directly calling people out if there's no names because it was always strangers. But there's a reason why we kind of migrate towards the back if it's not people that we know, or we kind of keep it a little quieter when it's like bigger bigger events, you know. There's always going to be people like not understanding, or you're just like being loud next to someone who's not expecting it, or like you're standing and you're like waving lights blocking someone's view who's not into that. So you kind of have to judge when or where it's okay to go all out and when to like kind of tone it back.
Yeah, it also too, it does depend on the type of event you're going to. Like I mentioned in the panel, um it's usually frowned upon at 2D idol concerts, so like Love Live, stuff like that. Although in recent history, Hasuno Sora has actually been very weirdly mix friendly.
Mm.
Um But so when you go to an idol showcase and it is like primarily like 2D idol performances, you're gonna run the risk of someone telling you to shut the hell up, basically. Um, which is why, like, if we're at an idol showcase and it is a lot of 2D idols, like you said, you'll see us in the back, like congregating with each other, or we'll, be a little more like subdued. Um, but if it's like a performance where we know the performers, we know that they're like cool with it, like all bets are off.
And I guess just on the topic of that, like again, when I was first sort of getting exposed to this again, like I guess the one thing I could vividly remember that sort of just both was like, whoa, we can do that, and whoa, that's really cool, was when we went to, or you or myself and Ashes, when we went to the Face Connect live at Anime NYC, and at the end everyone's doing the Hamtaro circle, and I'd never seen that before in my life. I was like, whoa, that's actually really cool. And then just like people just like getting up out of their seats and running around. Like I thought at first I was scared. I was like, oh my god, are the staff gonna yell at them? But then no, it's chill. So
The staff did, so security did yell, but Anime NYC staff were like, "Nah, just let it happen,
yeah,
dude."
just let it happen. Yeah, no, and
Literally, yeah.
yeah, and like Mint like used it for their social media and everything, and that's the cool thing is like when you can, I guess, just to put like a nice bow in all of this, is just a lot of call and mix culture and wotage, like it just seems like if one person's doing it, it's disruptive behavior, but if everyone's doing it, it's universally disruptive behavior. That makes sense. Where,
There's a reason why it's called being yakai.
And not being demure and mindful.
All right, so before we wrap up, I'm sure I'm not the only one that's trying to learn more about I guess this whole side of the idol community, or that maybe want to start learning calls and mixes and start getting involved in maybe learning wotage. So what resources do you guys have in terms of helping people that are just starting, I guess, like both connect with people in the community and learn specific called mixes and learn moves for wotage?
So I have um there's a call and mix guide made by Airy that like I like to keep bookmarked just in case. Or well that I used to have bookmarked like just in case when I was trying to remember a couple more obscure but still like kind of popular mixes, I guess. I don't know how it could be like that, obscure but popular. I don't know. Um
You are just saying words now,
I
man.
am. And it's word vomit at this point. But I guess not obscure, the harder to remember ones. The ones
Yeah.
that are like that have words that are hard to remember.
Scrub, do you want me to take over?
Yes, please.
Okay. So there's this really cool panel called Introduction to Column Mix Culture.
Oh, those guys are weird.
Those guys are actually a little weird, but I guess they know what they're talking about. Obviously, our panel, the Oda database, which I just linked in the chat, very good resource to find a bunch of mixes. You can also you can search up like song name and mix or song name Woda, and you'll usually find a couple good guides. There's also Etanaru idol mixes. They are a pretty good resource. They'll have like subtitles on the bottom of songs and stuff for actual like Siloom dance. Aniwaza will frequently post like tutorials and stuff on Twitter, YouTube. There's also Sergeant Wiggles Otage guide that has some good basics in it as well. You can also just message us. Like, I don't know about Scrub, but I don't bite. I'm more than happy to help out. If you have
You
any
sure about that?
questions,
You sure about the biting part?
I don't know about that.
Yeah, and you guys definitely have a lot of resources to sort of help people that are learning, like me, or people that are trying to understand and learn more about this whole. She's lying through her teeth, her very sharp teeth. Oh boy. please, please don't bite
Wow,
anyone.
mod abuse, mod
Mod
abuse.
abuse, mod abuse, mod check, mod check.
But yeah, and it's cool that I hear about you, Aniwaza doing like workshops and, obviously, and getting to know you guys over the past, year or so. Yeah, you guys are like, again, very welcoming community in general, but especially, for people that are trying to, learn more about this, I guess, aspect of the community and trying to learn, calls and mixes. And yeah, that's honestly, that's why I think like what you guys are doing with, call and mix panel and, I guess just helping to spread, I guess just our version or like the American take on, Kai Guy Idol lives and, call and mix culture. Yeah, I feel like it's just as important as what's going on like from the performers on stage. So, I hope to see, more people sort of get fascinated and, want to learn more about this. And, maybe this type of call and mix and Wotage will break containment and I'll see it at like a K-pop show, or I'll see it at like, I don't know, a Linkin Park show or something like that.
I mean, it originally started at like rock concerts, so
Yeah.
it's not.
Yeah.
It'll return someday. But
It'll come back home.
I think another thing is now that more people are getting into it, like there's a lot more. There's more resources or more people around willing to help, or yeah, it's easier to find people to help nowadays. Whereas a couple of years ago, you would have to make sure you found someone's obscure blog, like trying to figure it out, and sometimes it's not even 100% correct.
Yeah, I mean, again, like the world's ultimately with how widespread this is becoming, the world's your oyster. And I, speaking as a very shy and reserved person outside of speaking or taking photos, yeah, it's definitely reassuring to see how you guys are so welcoming and wanting to openly wanting to teach people and have more people participate in this this really, I guess, really cool aspect of our community. So again, I just wanted to thank you guys for your time. This was very last minute in a way. I was just like, I have to host. I guess you're first. And Ashes was like, sure.
I'm like, hey, can I bring a buddy?
Yeah. Is there
The
anyone you
emotional
guys
support scrub?
emotional support?
scrub.
Is there anything or anyone you guys wanted to shout out or promo or shill?
Scrub, do you have anything first before I go? Because I got a few things.
I think you have all the things that should be shilled.
Okay. So, first and foremost, we got the Pan Ranger birthday live and Off-Kai. The Off-Kai is going to be on Friday. It's going to be at the aquarium. So, if you like fish.
Not this Friday.
No, this Friday. It's going to be. I hope it's not this Friday because this Friday is now. It is going to be March 7th for the Off-Kai. March 8th for the live. Tickets are on sale now. They dragged my ass out of graduation. So I have to perform. It's fucked up. But there's going to be a lot of other awesome performers too. We got Pengy coming in from Florida. Flair's going to be there. Ella is going to be there.
With a
my
guest.
Co-host for World Chaos Party with a guest. I know who the guest is. Y'all don't know who the guest is, but it'll be fun. And of course, Pan Ranger's performing. It's going to be a good time. There will also be a panel at Secret, only for IDOLEYEZ only. We will be presenting at the convention where everything came to a head for us at Castle Point Anime Convention. That's going to be very fun.
IDOLEYEZ exclusive, yeah.
IDOLEYEZ exclusive info. Don't have a date or time for that quite yet. working that out now. But that is going to be our next time paneling together, unless something explodes. I hope not.
Hopefully.
And then I am having my final actual graduation at a point that I cannot say quite yet, but it is happening. So prep for me actually genuinely never returning to the stage ever again. Like,
Yeah,
don't
okay.
I'm not! You saw me flop up there! You saw me
And it was
mess
graceful.
up the song. You saw me mess up the song that you said I should do.
Ouch.
Top 10 largest L's for me. Anyway,
No.
that's all I got to show, I think. Yes.
Anything else you wanted to show, Scrub?
I guess, the usual: follow Aniwaza, follow Any Party for events.
Yes.
Oh yeah, follow
Sam,
these
I
guys
also-
on their social media. Like, I think, yeah, it's somewhere on the overlay down there. So please go follow them. They're both very cool people, and Ash has promised me
He's
they
cool,
wouldn't
I'm
bite.
not.
Yeah, shout out to like all the Otage groups popping up now. We got the ones in Canada, the ones on the
Sandflare,
West Coast,
yeah.
Sandflare West Coast.
Yakai Soul,
Yakai Soul.
Voyager. A new one popped up in Montreal recently. I don't remember the name, but I met them at MagFest.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I mean, keep an eye out. There's been so much growth that there's more groups that people should follow if they want to get into this stuff. Also follow idols. Like,
Yes.
watch idols.
And speaking of watching idols, Egg has this thing where he gives like his host a pep talk, but I don't know. I'm not very good at giving pep talks, and even though he says it's the worst pep talk in the world, so I will just ramble on about upcoming, like, I don't know, like live events or just things that might be coming up that are on my.
Pep talk? That's so messed up.
I don't know. I don't know how to give pep talks, dude. Okay. Anyway, so upcoming idol community or idol event schedule. Tomorrow, in New York, we have Machi Maho Maids. They're a maid cafe that they do a bunch of maid cafes at like anime conventions, that sort of thing. They're going to be performing at something called the Diamond Crevasse Anime Rave in New York City. It'll be at Racket, which is a very small venue, but is actually, still pretty nice. So that's tomorrow. Like, I guess just like sometime in the afternoon or night or whatever. So, go support them. What else we got? I'm surprised you didn't bring this one up, Ashes. You're literally about to fly halfway across the world to go see.
I can't promo an event that I know damn well I'm the only person. That's a lot. Kusa's coming. That can't be the only person. That can't.
I'm sure. Who knows? Who knows? Maybe there's somebody in Thailand watching this, or maybe there's somebody in the vicinity of Thailand that would like.
You consider it.
Oh my bad.
That would. Go for it.
Japan Expo Thailand, the largest Japanese culture event in Southeast Asia, is happening February 7th to February 9th. There's going to be a lot of Thai idols. There's going to be festive. There's going to be... That's the only groups I care about.
Damn. Ouch.
Do you like Thai BL? They got the people from that. I don't know. I'm going for festive and my Kamiyoshi.
When I was Googling like where it was being held, apparently like Wikipedia, it says like the mall that they're doing it as like the 9th largest shopping mall in the world.
Oh yeah, Central World is huge.
That's crazy. So, I mean, if anyone is in the vicinity or wants to YOLO do a cross-world trip over to Thailand and watch some idols, go check it out. I would love to go there sometime. Like, not even just for Japan Expo Thailand, but just in Thailand in general.
Thailand is fun. It's not too late.
No, I know I can't just. Even if you shove me, even if you shove me in the luggage, I don't know if I can afford it. Oh God. What else we got? We already mentioned Katsucon, or I know we didn't mention Katsucon.
We
I believe.
did not mention Katsucon because I'm
Yeah,
not
so-
going to be at Katsucon.
That that sucks for you. So yeah, Katsucon. There's gonna be various idol events going on the whole weekend. The only ones I specifically know of, is I know my Urania is having like a debut anniversary event. MS Paint Palette is also doing something, I believe, on the Saturday evening of Katsucon. So if you are in the National Harbor, Maryland, DMV area and know where the Gaylord is and can afford the $30 a day parking, or be smart and like take the train, please come support the idols. I will be there, assuming nothing conflicts with my schedule, but will plan on being there. Yeah, I think that's all I have on my idol event
Hey,
chill
I got one
schedule.
more.
Oh, you got one more?
I
Oh,
got one.
great.
Yeah. If you're West Coast based, that same weekend, you can go to Anime Impulse Los Angeles.
Oh,
That's gonna be
yeah.
happening Valentine's Day weekend. They got Festive and At Home Cafe and a bunch of really awesome SoCal and West Coast based idols. And then the Monday after is going to be Idol Party in LA Volume 3. That's going to have Festive and At Home Cafe and a bunch of really awesome SoCal based idols.
Anime Impulse also
And that's
has like
everything.
the VTubers if you're interested in that. That's where I watched Pomu's funeral.
Wow, it's been a year.
Yep.
What a year it's been.
And I still haven't been able to pay off that plane ticket since I booked it 2 weeks before. Anyways, that's it for Idolize.
Everybody go send Kofi to Ando. No. We're showing Ando's Kofi real quick. Hang
Oh
on.
God, no! Please,
Hang
no!
on,
No!
I'm
No!
grabbing
I'm not.
it. Hang on.
No! You.
Shut up.
What? I literally don't do anything on Kofi. It's just there for in case. But
It's there in case. Well, guess what the in case is? Everybody go send him your money.
Oh God. Anyway, oh my God, you really did drop it. Okay, so all right, that's all we got for Idolize this week. Next week I may have a show. It depends on if I can actually schedule it out. Yeah, so again, like I said at the top of the show, please, if you like this type of content, follow us here at twitch.tv/ Eggy Drago, or if you want to rewatch the VOD, you can catch it sometime tomorrow, I think is when you upload, or a day after or 2 days after is when it uploads on youtube.com/ @idoleyez101. Please follow Eggy Drago on all social media to keep up to date with upcoming episodes. You can follow me on my social media. It's usually Ando_0817, like the coffee link. And again, please follow Ash's Scrub. They are amazing people. They've welcomed a complete noob like me with open arms into this community. So if you're new like me, please don't be afraid. Say hi. Learn a pizza snake. Participate. That's definitely the name of the game. So
Let the record show the only person in this community who will ever bully is Scrub.
Yeah,
what
okay.
what if
Fuck you.
all right, till next time guys, same idle time, same idle
Oh,
place.
who-
We'll see you here. Oh, you got one more?
Who's next time? Wait, who's
I don't
on
know.
next time?
I don't
It was
know.
on- it
Genuinely,
was on
I mean, like, I guess it may be Aniwasa. I know like Eri and Third said yes, so possibly them. We'll see. I have to.
You know who's a member of Annie Wants that you can have on the show next week?
Yeah, Ashes.
I think Egg would kill me if I have a third return guest before he comes back.
Every week is Ashes.
All right. Anyway, till next time, guys. Same idle time, same idle place. Here on Idolize. Wait. I'm supposed to send this to like. How do I raid someone? Wait. Egg, teach me, please.
It's /raid.
Wait. I don't even know who I raid.
Raid Pengy. Pengy's live right now.
What? Egg, help me. I don't know. I literally, this is the first time I've ever
Do
streamed on.
everything around here. Wait, can I do this? I think I can do it as a mod.
Wait. Why don't I have slash raid? Ashes.
Okay, yeah,
Egg!
Eggy, you're gonna have to. Eggy, you're gonna have to.
Egg,
do the raid.
please! All I can do is clip or like local or I don't know.
Cause you're not egg. Eggy, Eggy, Eggy.
Egg, please! Oh god, no, he went awful. Slash raid.
Help!
It doesn't show up for me! I don't know why! If I just type in slash raid,
It
It
doesn't
says-
let me.
Okay. Slash raid pingy _time. Okay. I will try this.
I did that. It didn't work.
Oh, wait, no.
Google
Wait, why is it telling me to join?
how
Oh god.
to raid
Oh, oh god, this is
on
bad.
channel.
Oh god, okay, fine. I'll learn how to raid. Yeah, there we go. Okay. Now it's really goodbye, guys. Alright.
Oh, we have to clip this. We have to remove this part.
Old man learns how to use
No, this
Twitch.
stays in.
Wait, when does it leave? Do I have to hit end stream?
No, you should probably hit end stream soon.
Okay, I shall hit end stream. Okay,
Go to
got
end
it.
stream.
Okay, I'm going to the end screen. Bye.